2 minutes. You don't have to take full 2 minutes. I'm just not going to buzz you at 1 minute.
Just don't buzz us.
Don't worry about it.
Just don't buzz you?
Yeah.
All right. That's fine. That's fair. Okay. Whenever you are ready.
All right. So, sorry, I've been dead for like 200 years. Got some notes to take out. So, I'm going to start by reading a quote from the U.S. Constitution. I presided over the convention. Sorry, I need some glasses. I'm George Washington, renowned father of the nation. After these rhymes, you're going to need an operation. I was actively engaged in this country's great formation. All you facilitated was Vietnam abomination. I got my face on the quarter and the dollar bill, and my statue sitting here up on Capitol Hill. In 1964, you ran on JFK's dying wishes. 1968, you dropped out, sat at home doing dishes. You know, if I wanted, could have had 1,000 terms, but I set a precedent with my famous final words. I brought in a decade of peace and profit from trade. All you brought in was war, and you can't even get laid. You're a fraud. I won't applaud. You had a cabinet, I had a squad of the best. Hamilton can attest. Because our economics were so trill, had no chill, making money, passing bills. LBJ, you're on the grill.
All right, listen up, George, because it's time for the truth. Because I'm a civilized man, but you're plain uncouth. I changed the world, they call me LBJ, and my raps are so dope, you better step away. I made Medicare and gave insurance to the old. Policy like that, it's worth its weight in gold. I signed acts to help minorities vote, but you just purchased them right off the boat. I saved the wilderness, trees, fishes, and birds. You just sat at home popping out turds. I appointed an African-American judge. You might have too, but you had a racist grudge. I passed air and water quality acts, and to make it even better, ended the poll tax. I'm so generous they call me Saint Nick. My policies are slick, more impactful than a magic trick. I got this country hopping like a pogo stick. Now, don't be a prick. Let me promise you, Vietnam wasn't a card trick. It was a trap, but to our plans we had to stick, or risk looking weaker than a baby chick. Next to mine, your term was non-stick. You think you're so cool, smooth Mr. Politic? That statue they built you looks like a giant dick.
Hey! Now listen here, Lyndon B. Get ready for a 3rd degree burn, listen, learn. It's the point of no return. I owned slaves, yeah, but in that era, so would you. All historians agree that my character was true. You couldn't have passed a single hint of legislation if it wasn't for the roots that I provided for this nation. I sacrificed my fortune and my life for America. My name and my legacy will last for millennia. Let me ponder just a second. Who will remember you? Maybe some historians, an AP student, maybe 2. I can tell you with certainty who will never say your name. 58,000 U.S. soldiers, you let them die in shame. I restored momentum to our army when I crossed the Delaware, and you can't heal my frostbite with your silly Medicare. You inherited an economy so good you didn't have to do a thing. Put a turtle in the Oval Office and the banks would still go ching. I had to work for what I got. For this country long I fought. And I got a lot of thoughts into the government. I brought the very freedoms that could not be bought without my musket shot. So keep your rope taut, eat some tots, take my food for thought. And sure, maybe the memorial looks a little phallic, but at least I don't rely on Viagra and Cialis.
In the midst of that war, when you thought that you were beat, you got saved by the French army, who are known only for retreat. If that doesn't say your fighting style is poor, I got 3 words for you. 7 years war. You were beat by the Indians with their weak bows and arrows, and your army was crushed faster than pharaohs. You say that you were the first American hero. How much truth is in that? I say absolute 0. You think you're fire, so admire, but that's dire, you endless liar. You call ceasefire in ugly attire. You're so last century, it's time to retire. You didn't do a lot, you're the country's flat tire, and with that ugly wig, you stomp out sexual desire. Time to build your funeral pyre. Because of LBJ, you're taking heavy fire. Next to me, you look like a disaster. You might be the father of the nation, but I'm your master. Sounds weird for you to be saying master instead of being called that, doesn't it? I built houses and schools and helped out the poor. If you think you're better than me, you're having delusions of grandeur.